Some of y'all really just need to admit that you hate white people.
Good genes are passed down.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like, fascist weird.
Yep, that got me too.
You are a grown-ass woman crying over a jeans commercial.
You have good genes, but you burn in the sun. Why is that always overlooked?
Now see, if I said something about smoke alarms, I would be wrong. Some of y'all really just need to admit that you hate white people. Please just say it. Please just speak your truth. Say it out loud. Get it out so we can all move on, because it's incredibly obvious at this point. Despite all the hooping and hollering you do and trying to intellectualize it and make it about whatever, it's very obvious that the problem we're facing is that a ton of people in America just hate white people. Specifically, I'm talking about the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ad that's getting slammed as Nazi propaganda, which I'm sure after we watch it, we'll see that it must be different this time, right? It must be different from when they made the OK symbol, Nazism, when they said milk was Nazism, veganism, yoga, and what else, right? It's been, when everything's Nazism, really nothing is, but let's watch the ad together and see if this is the case.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
I can't, first of all, believe how angry people are about this. I mean, people are straight up going into psychosis over this, and you can see it.
If I'm doing these things and I see blue, your eye color and your hair as a sign of your good genes, then that means someone who has a different hair or eye color doesn't have good genes.
I know some people don't have an internal monologue. They can't spin an apple in their head. I know it's difficult for some people, but for me, what I picked up on as someone who's semi-fluent in art and semi-fluent in the English language and double entendres, it came across as an attractive person talking about how her genes are good because she's attractive. But the reality here is that the tables have turned on you, cupcakes. Ads used to be all about targeting, conservative outrage, targeting that real, Republican, traditional, old school, conservative type of people who would be upset about it and thus bring more clicks and more attention to the product. And first of all, I actually do have to say the product doesn't look great. Sydney Sweeney does look good. The jeans gave stiff. They gave stiff, like a lot of y'all's wigs. It gives hard to move in. It doesn't look comfortable in my opinion. And so I would have never even looked at an ad for this product twice, but y'all have me watching it now, which is the point. And I know that ugliness is very much celebrated on the left. That's why we've had ads like this, I'll put them on the screen, for the past 10 years. And why y'all thought it would never boomerang back to people who aren't morbidly obese. It's clear to me that there are two groups heavily invested in equating Nazism with things that are highly aesthetic and beautiful. Nazis would like to brand themselves as very aesthetic, and the liberals who make everything about Nazism are definitely equally, they're y'all are just best friends over here. Both of y'all are so dedicated to making sure that people equate beauty and aesthetic with Nazi. I remember this picture going viral on X because people were calling it Nazism, and I'll put it on the screen. It's literally just a teenage football player and a cheerleader talking, and because they're white, you know what I mean? It's y'all want to equate Nazism with wholesome, aesthetic, and just white love, which God forbid. This is why I say just admit that you don't like white people. Admit that it could have been any other hoe of any other size and or complexion up in that ad, and you wouldn't have had an issue. You wouldn't have had an issue if Satan himself crawled up from the depths of hell to do the ad. Y'all wouldn't have saw a controversy in that at all.
Stop the ad! That is being racist!
I do hope she wore an all-white outfit just to make you even more mad. I have to say that. Second of all, leave her the fuck alone. It's actually good to see that Sydney is still doing stuff out and about and not afraid of the backlash. That's also a sign things have changed. Sydney Sweeney is out and about because she knows y'all are weak. She knows y'all are weak. Let her make her money and let me make mine. Here's an ad. Okay, before we get into it, I have teamed up with Matchmasters for an insane giveaway for you guys. We're talking major prizes and entering is super simple. I'll explain how in just a sec. First, let me show you why I'm so obsessed. Matchmasters is a fast-paced, competitive match 3 game, but this is not your grandma's gem matcher. You go head to head in real time, matching pieces, triggering wild boosters, and throwing down strategy like it's a battle of the brains and life. You can play live with your friends or with people all over the world, and there's also solo modes too. My personal favorite, the boosters. They're absolutely chaotic in the best way. When one of those kicks in, the whole board goes off. Okay, so here's how you enter this insane giveaway. Step 1, download Matchmasters using my link. Only my link can be used to enter. Step 2, play just one game to unlock the star race. Step 3, you now have 7 days to rack up as many stars as possible. Step 4, the top players will enter the final round. And after 3 more days, whoever wins the most stars wins. So if you're competitive like me or just want to play something fun and possibly win these amazing prizes, download Matchmasters right now using my link. Tell a friend, but you must be using my link to enter to win. And if you don't, you're severely missing out. Here are the prizes, and these were handpicked by me. This is what I want, and I actually have some of this. So this is an entire taser. You can win an entire taser downloading this game and playing it using my link. Also on the smaller but still really awesome end, we have these Beats Studio Plus earbuds, which I personally use every single day. There's also this JBL speaker. I have one of these in my home and I chose it for you guys because the quality is sick. And then finally, we have this Garmin GPS watch. Amazing quality, extremely high end, and you're going to be obsessed with it. And I feel like all of these prizes are worth playing and downloading this game personally. Thank you so much to Matchmasters for sponsoring today's video. And now on to the rest of the video. Now, I haven't seen anybody hotter than an 8 upset about this ad, which is also just the truth that it's just about jealousy. It's just about envy. Case in point.
Good genes are passed down. Minds are blue. First of all, you don't get denim blue without black hands, without black knowledge. So why are they still centering whiteness to sell us something that we literally built? The iconic denim blue wouldn't exist without indigo. And indigo didn't grow here. Indigo was brought here along with the people who knew how to grow it.
This hoe looks like Baphomet, straight up. I'm looking at a demon. Something evil has made a home in you, I have to let you know. It's kicked up, chilling up in you. No plans to leave. I will try to fix that. You are a good artist though. Actually, I was so trying to be nice. Now that looks like shit.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like, fascist weird. Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this? Probably not, but it's still really shocking.
First of all, just another, I'm going to be the bigger person, even though you clearly are the bigger person here. The trans flag behind you, back to just celebrating ugliness. I mean, they made the flag so fucking ugly. But to me, it kind of represents eugenics in a literal way, which is sterilization of children. But that would never come through. That would never make it through this ear and out. It's just, you would never consider that. That eugenics would also include the sterilization of young gays and lesbians for political purposes. Wow. I swear it's like the only thing y'all even know about history is World War II, Hitler, Nazis. And you would think that people who bring it up for everything would know literally anything about it. You would think, since their entire worldview is centered on that set of time and those events and that unique phenomenon, you would think they would know anything about it to not talk outside of their crusty, dusty mouths and look this dumb on the internet. I mean, it's really just pitiful. And life is clearly eating you up. Life is eating you up. When are you going to make a change? I'm being so for real, because here's the thing about being ugly. People act like ugly is like the worst thing you could be. And it's pretty bad. And it breeds a lot of hate, right? As within, so without. It breeds a lot of hate. It starts here, it comes out. But being ugly is very, very rarely a life sentence. I just have to be so real. Being ugly is only a life sentence for a few outlier people. For 99% of people who are classified as ugly, if you put in even a mediocre amount of work, you would get to at least presentable. A walk a day and that moon face is gone. You know what I mean? Like, just walk once every day for 20 minutes. Just once. It changes your face, it changes your body, it changes your mental health. You change from within to without.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Tell me it's not about jealousy. I don't care. I don't care. And look at you trying to change your genes, trying to have blonde hair as if that would be, you know what I mean? It's always a non-white person sitting up underneath a blonde wig making fun of white people. And that's just pitiful. And by the way, you could clock me too. I definitely get spray tan to be darker, and go ahead and say I'm jealous. I don't care. I do think that slightly more olive/dark skin tones are beautiful. And so I do try to achieve that. But I also don't shit on people of that race either. So you can't take from them and then be like, but fuck white people. And you're clearly trying to make it about being white with the hillbilly accent. It's not even, you know, if you're going to try to be funny, at least try to sound like Sydney, which she did sound goofy as hell in that video. Like, she kind of sounded like she had paralysis in the left side of her face. And that would be funny, right? You see how you can clock somebody and be humorous and still be like a decent human being and not just show that you're just jealous and hateful because you look dusty? It is possible. It is possible. And I just get embarrassed for people that project this much and don't think that people don't see it. And speaking to people of other races sitting up under a blonde wig, it's so funny because I saw this post that was like trying to, you know, say that Beyonce actually has better genes than Sydney Sweeney, which, again, y'all are making it about some sort of racial supremacy, projection, always. It's always what you feel. And it's like, they chose a picture of her. I mean, maybe the word cosplay sounds extreme, but like, it's a whole costume of another race. It's giving transracial. Right? Like, so you chose her most Caucasian-esque picture to try to prove that she has better genes than a Caucasian girl. It's kind of like, just admit you hate white people. It's okay. You try to clock everybody else, whether they really hate black people or not. Why don't you clock yourself for once? Why don't you just keep it real with yourself for once, Cupcake?
The Sydney Sweeney ad, have you seen it?
Oh, yes, I have.
What are your thoughts?
Trying to calm myself, but that would, Sydney Sweeney has good really? Like, the eugenics in that, it's dripping with it, and I'm like, no.
That could legitimately be in one of those millennial cringe compilations. Like, that was so embarrassing. That was so embarrassing. You surely were cringing at yourself, right? And no shade if that's kind of some kind of form of autism, but if you have whatever that is, that's when you say no to speaking on a stranger's camera. I mean, that was just humiliating. You are a grown-ass woman. Probably a they, them, if I had to clock you, but you're grown. Here's the other side of it as well. And this is just being objective and real. There's this thing called intrasexual competition. It's the evolutionary psychology of why women are hateful and aggressive and angry towards women they perceive to be attractive. It's out of competition for resources. Going back to the cave days. You needed a man to go out there and hunt and gather for you, so he needed to find you attractive, babe. And so that whole cave woman down the street, little slut she is, right? She's getting all the men bringing her, you know, the fruits and berries, and you're just chilling alone in your cave with your little saber-toothed tiger. And you're mad about it. And so that is, again, I hate when people are just so unaware of their own psychology that they let really obvious things just slip out. It's the same reason why you don't deny it. You see it all the time. Women are so mean to women. Women are meaner to women than men could ever be to women. Men are more violent to women than women could ever be. But in terms of that, like, nasty, jealousy, angry, no one could ever hate a bitch more than a bitch. And it is sad.
Yep, that got me too. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's just so blatant. I keep thinking that people just are not gonna believe us until we're hung out there. But then even then, I feel like they'll be like, oh no.
You are a grown-ass woman crying over a jeans commercial. I just like the willingness that y'all participate in these humiliation rituals, and you do it to yourselves. You're not even getting any Illuminati payoff for it. You're just humiliating yourself for no reason.
What makes this whole Sydney Sweeney, American Eagle, I got good genes debacle even more egregious is that blonde hair and blue eyes is not even good genes. Blonde hair and blue eyes are literally genetic mutations. They're literally recessive genes. Eugenics became a thing because, yes, blackness was seen as the disability. Blackness was seen as the unworthy genetic material that we didn't want to persist, while having the wool pulled over people's eyes at this idea that whiteness is the beacon of genetic material. We now have mitochondrial Eve that confirms that black life is the start of all human life, period.
See, y'all are the ones admitting this is about racial superiority for you. This is about racial supremacy for you. And I wish you would just speak for yourselves. I really do. And it's so crazy to me because white people are like, the number's kind of hard to get, but it's around 9% of the world's population. There are numbers as low as 7, some as high as like 12 to 13. But either way, we're cracking on a really extreme minority in the world. And so I thought minority representation was a good thing. I thought it was a good thing. And also for y'all to act like, I don't know, every minority is so off limits that half of y'all will end up defending things like MAPS, minor attracted people. Half of y'all are so scared of defending minorities that doesn't matter how outrageous the trans things get, you're just all for it. But why don't you feel that protectiveness over white people when they're such a small minority of the world and on track to not even exist fairly shortly? That's really sad to me. You just have everything so inverted, so reversed, right? Like you would think, based on the way these people think, that white people are like 90% of the population. It is, in fact, a very small minority and going out fairly shortly. So I don't know, maybe we should start treating them with a little more respect rather than less. That would just be in line with y'all's ideology here, but God forbid we ask for some consistency.
You have good genes, but you burn in the sun. Why is that always overlooked?
Now, see, if I said something about smoke alarms, I would be wrong. Right? If I brought up anything else that is just as kind of non-consequential, but also true, I would be wrong, right? Then y'all be hauling me off to some kind of camp. I'm not going to say anything because you've said it all. White people are pretty much the only group that isn't allowed to, compliment themselves, up themselves, have any sort of confidence or stability in their identity as white people, right? Whereas y'all can run around talking about how you have better melanin, as you're doing now, black girl magic, right? Jews can say they're the chosen people, God's chosen, right? Everybody's allowed to up their own group. And you know what? I think that's fine. I think it's fine if you think you're the shit and that your people are the shit. I just would like the same right. I think white people deserve the same right. That's all I'm saying. Like, white people are allowed to be hot. They're allowed to know they're hot. They're allowed to be confident. And how about this one? They're allowed to date other white people, by the way, because I've seen that lately too, that it's a problem that white people have racial preferences for other white people. Meanwhile, the only people I've ever in my life talk about having any problem with interracial dating is black people, is some Hispanic people. Yeah, I guess I've seen that growing up in California. People of Mexican descent are like upset if their daughter or son doesn't have a Mexican partner. Everyone's allowed to feel that way, but white people. And why is that? Like, just put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Don't moral grandstand about it. Don't bullshit about it. Keep it real with yourself. Keep it real with me. Why are white people the only people not allowed to have confidence, not allowed to advocate for their own selves and their own group? Meanwhile, everything is inverted. And They're the ones supposedly the most racist. And I just have to be so real. Part of the reason clearly why everyone is such in a psychosis about this and just so confident that it is some sort of like covert racist agenda is because people really do think that white people behind closed doors and when they're just around white people are racist as shit. Like they really, I see videos all the time, black people and people other groups being like, so white people, tell me what you guys really talk about behind closed doors. What do you really say about minorities? And it's like, I can't even think of a time I have been around white people and they just brought up or started talking badly about other groups. White people will get on your ass for being racist before even a minority. Like they check their own group. I swear y'all think people are just so racist in the white community. And it's not that that doesn't exist, but then you have this complete imbalanced thinking where you're not even able to clock it in your own group and see how often things like white people or I hate all white people or mayo monkeys, like, you know what I mean? Like y'all say that kind of shit. With all that being said, leave Sydney Sweeney alone. I can't necessarily advocate for buying the outfit because again, that's that nuance. I think the outfit's actually horrific, but I do support white people. Period, I guess. I was going to make a larger point, but like white people are cool. Why is that so bad? Thanks again to Matchmasters for sponsoring this video, and make sure you guys click the link to enter to win this cool ass taser and the other cool ass prizes. Go do it now. Subscribe to this channel as well as my podcast channel. Follow me on X, TikTok, Instagram, all of the above, and I will see you in the next video.